This is section 1.4, part 2, where we are going to look at rewriting a linear equation. Alright, rewriting a linear equation is very similar to rewriting a formula. You're essentially going to solve the equation for a given variable. And you can see in the first problem here, we want to solve 9x minus 4y equals 7 for y. Alright, so whenever you see solve for a certain variable, essentially what that's saying is get that variable alone. So we want to get this y right here alone. We want to get it by itself. Then once we do that, we'll be able to find what y equals when x equals negative 5. So let's start just by solving this equation for y. So we've got 9x minus 4y equals 7. And I want to isolate the y. I want to get it alone. So I'm going to take the term 9x and move it over to the right-hand side of the equation. I'm going to do that by subtracting 9x, because 9x minus 9x is 0, and I want to cancel that term out of the left-hand side. So I'm left with negative 4y on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, I've got 7 minus 9x. And lastly, I'm going to detach negative 4 from y by dividing. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1, so those cancel. And I'm left with y equals 7/4. And notice a positive and a negative make a negative, so it's actually negative 7/4. And now we've got negative 9x divided by negative 4. And negative and a negative make a positive 9/4 x. So we've got y equals negative 7/4 plus a 9/4 x, or if you wanted to put 9/4 x first, we've got addition, so the commutative property allows me to flip these two terms. So, or you could have written y equals 9/4 x minus 7/4. Either of these is acceptable. Next, we're going to go ahead and find y when x equals 5. So if x equals 5, or negative 5, sorry, is that correct? Yeah, x equals negative 5. So if x equals negative 5, I'm actually going to take the second equation, y equals 9/4 x minus 7/4, and I'm going to plug the value of negative 5 in for x. So I see y equals 9/4 times the quantity negative 5 minus 7/4. So I'm going to multiply 9/4 times negative 5. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45 over 4 minus 7 over 4. And notice we've got a common denominator, so we can do our subtraction. Negative 45 minus 7 is going to give me negative 52. So I've got negative 52 over 4, and 4 goes into 52 13 times, so y equals negative 13. So we know y equals negative 13, and x was given to us as negative 5. So we want to make sure we're correct, so we're going to check that this is correct. And so we want to go back to our original problem that was given to us. So that's way back up over here. This is our original problem. So we're going to check 9x minus 4y equals 7. 9x minus 4y equals 7. And we know the value of x is negative 5. Alright, so instead of x, I'm going to plug in negative 5. And we know the value of y is negative 13, because that's what we found. I want to make sure that's correct. So now all I want to do is evaluate the left-hand side of the equation, and hopefully it will equal 7. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply 9 times negative 5, and I get negative 45. And then I'm going to multiply negative 4 times negative 13, and I get positive 52. I'm going to drop down my 7. So negative 45 plus 52, well, that's 7. And it's nice to see that 7 equals 7, so we know we're correct. We know y equals negative 13 when x equals negative 5.